Well, good morning. How are you there? I was a little surprised. We were having some little technical challenges. But hey, y'all out there, it's so good to see you this morning. I wanted to talk to you about something that I just think that we need to just come a little closer because I want to talk to you about this. This is pretty serious. There's this whole idea. Are you close enough? Okay. There's this idea that there's something going on with this thing called willpower. Like people think that, okay, like you just have no willpower, and they may be disparaging you and just going like, you're just this and you just keep eating and da 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 da. But can I tell you something? There's like this thing going on inside of you where there's like these teeny little hormones. One just discovered like in 1994, the other one in 1999. Now it's kind of become a big deal, right? And but we've discovered that these things have a way of talking about overeating or undereating, like when you're satiated and when you're hungry. And when those things get out of balance, really bad things happen, and like your willpower is completely hacked. Well, today I'm going to tell you all about that, about how to hack those hunger hormones, right? The hidden hormones that control your cravings and your weight. And so by the time we finish this, you're going to be like, "Oh, I got this," because I'm going to teach you how to reprogram, how to reprogram those hormones so that you take control and they don't take control of you. Well, good morning. I am Dr. Helen, and I am your fearless leader in this 40-day accelerated healing detox boot camp. Dare I say, challenge. This is a powerful tool for lowering your blood sugar and lowering your blood pressure. So here we are on day 34, okay? Day 34, which means we only have 6 more days together. This is absolutely amazing. There've been so many things happening behind the scenes with poor internet services and poor computer programming, but we are working very diligently to make sure we get the information to you that you need here on day 34. So remember, this program is extremely powerful for lowering blood pressure and lowering blood sugar levels. So we want to make sure that you have your health provider on board, because what we do is we just provide food, right? We're just telling you what foods to eat. Like we're not, this is not a doctor patient relationship. We're just really giving you educational information. So this is for educational purposes only. Make sure your provider is on board, because if there's anything that needs to be adjusted, your medications need to be adjusted in any way, they are the ones to do it. So make sure they are well aware that you are just eating some different foods, right? That's all we do. Here we let food be medicine. That's just our mantra. We're just following what Hippocrates told us way long ago in 400 BC. So hey y'all, we are here at 34, day 34. So if this is your first day, welcome. If it's your second day, welcome back. And if it's your 34th day, look at you. Give yourself a hand clap, pat yourself on the back, because you are still here. Here we are on a quest to stop diabetes one person at a time, one sip at a time, one bite at a time. We're doing it all one at a time. So let me tell you what you're going to learn today. We're going to talk about what hunger hormones are. Have you ever heard of them before? If you've ever heard of hunger hormones, I want you to put that in the chat. Yeah, I know what that is. And if you've never heard of it, say, no, what is that? All right, so we're going to talk about what hunger hormones are and how they control your hunger. Then we're going to talk about why the hormones might be sabotaging your weight loss goals. We're also going, and your inflammatory goals, lowering your inflammation. We're going to talk about why that's going on. The surprising link between these hormones and insulin resistance, right? I mean, like, the body is like so fearfully and wonderfully made, like all of these different things. Every time I think about the body, I think about like Spaghetti Junction in Atlanta, where all of these different highways are interacting with one another and crossing over each other. So would you have known that there are hormones that interact and can cause insulin resistance? Well, we're going to figure that out today. And then we're going to talk about how to reset them. And we're going to use very simple lifestyle changes to do it, right? Because one of the things that we are seeing is that people are tending to like overeat a lot. And we're just trying to wonder, like, are you really hungry, or are you hacked? Are you hungry, or are you hacked? And so let's try to figure that out when we look at what's going on with this kind of sea salt kind of thing. We got some hidden masters that are working on the inside of us. And like they are like the master of this domain. And we're trying to like figure out how to master the domain ourselves, right? We're gonna figure that part out ourselves, right? So let's talk about what these two masters are. And now let's think about like being on a seesaw. If you have people of equal weight on a seesaw, the seesaw is not going to go anywhere. It's just going to be straight across, right? But if somebody comes in and they weigh a little bit more than the other person, say you put an adult on one end and a child on the other end, then the adult is going to go down and the child is going to go up. Right? Doesn't that make sense? Okay. Somebody says yes, they know about hunger hormones. So let's say you go like that is out of balance. And so you got one that's going down, so that's going to take control. The adult is going to take control. But say the that's on the left side, and then the right side, the child is up in the air, and let's flip that over, and let's say that the child is weighing more now than the adult, because we're seeing that we got a skinny adult and kind of an overweight child, right? That adult's going to go down and the child is going to go up, right? That the one that's kind of overweight is going to go up, right? That is kind of what's happening with these two things. It's kind of like a seesaw kind of thing. We have one hormone that wants things to go, that wants to go and make you want to eat and eat and eat. And then we have another one that says, hey, stop, like you've eaten enough, slow it down. Let me just let me, I'm satisfied, I've had enough, I'm good, so that I'm not going to overeat and I'm not going to be craving, when what these overeating, these cravings, this stubborn kind of thing that just wants to continue to eat. The one hormone is secreted in your stomach and says go get some food, and the other one is in your brain and says stop eating the food, right? So let's talk about these things and how they work. Let's talk about how it works when we're talking about hungry versus not being hungry. So the hunger hormone is different. When you feel hungry, it's working. And even sometimes when you're not feeling hungry and you eat, like it's been hacked, right? Let's talk about what's hacking it. There is a hormone that is produced in your stomach, and when it's released, it's like, okay, I'm hungry. Let me get some food. I need it right away. I need some food, right? And so you're getting this food coming into your system. And if we don't choose the right thing, then we're going to like continue really to promote this one called the hunger hormone, right? We're promoting that one called the hunger hormone, and we get like these spikes. So we're eating processed foods. We're getting these spikes in your blood sugar, right? These kinds of processed foods kind of feed this hormone, the hunger hormone. It goes like, I want some more of that, right? We talked about that bliss point. Then remember, we talked about the bliss point. We know the exact bliss point that makes this work like clockwork, so that it like hacks those hunger hormones and makes you feel like you're hungrier when you're really not hungry, right? And we talked about what they are. So you got to check out that viewing, that session, because we've already kind of gotten in there and talked about how these things kind of makes it like I need to get some more food. So some other things that kind of make this crazy hormone want to go out of control is like staying up too late. Like when you're staying up too late, you're sleepy, it's time to go to sleep. Like it almost like it like hacks this hormone and says, I want to eat some more, right? And so you get these high levels that make you want to crave junk food. So it makes you want to crave sugar, and it makes you want to crave like fatty foods. It makes you want to crave soda. It makes you want to crave some cookies. It makes you want to go in and get donuts. Like those are some of the things, like it just kind of hacks that hormone and makes you want to eat more of the things that you're not supposed to, right? But fasting, on the other hand, kind of temporarily decreases it and kind of makes it more balanced, right? it in the very beginning, and you guys know this because we've just gone through it. In the very beginning, it makes you, like, in the beginning of our detox, we're like more hungry and all that kind of stuff. So it temporarily increases the hunger hormone. But then as you continue, you noticed, right? Tell me you noticed. If you noticed that, put a yes in the chat. You notice that as we continued with the juicing, that our hunger kind of balanced out. And when it balanced out, you were like, wait, I can do this. I'm not quite as hungry as I thought I was, right? I thought I was going to be voraciously seeking food every single day. But once you got past like day 3 to 5, you were like, oh, yeah, I could do this, right? I could do this. That's because of this hormone. Like when it's not working, when something is broken and you are like just trying to rake it into your mouth, your brain's fullness signal is like not working. That's your satiety hormone. That's like I'm satisfied kind of hormone. When it's broken, you don't get that same feeling. So what is going on is that the other hormone that is produced by the fat cells are going to tell your brain when you're full, and says you can stop eating now. But when that is like not in balance and it's hacked somehow, you don't really know when you're satisfied. You just continue to eat. We just continue to eat because we're like, I can't feel that I'm satisfied. So instead of your stomach looking like this, it kind of looks more like this. So you get this excess body fat that can lead to actually resisting. You know how we talk about insulin resistance? You can actually start resisting the hormone that lets you know to stop eating. And it's called resistance when it doesn't stop, right? So this kind of thing may make you continue to want processed foods, like, that ripple kind of effect on the chips, right? And like it kind of, even like this stress can also kind of disrupt it. You know how many people we eat kind of under stress. We start to eat a lot more when we're stressed, right? Because this also can disrupt the signal to say, let's stop it, let's feel satisfied, so that you can have better appetite control and then promote fat loss. Whether that fat is subcutaneous fat where you can see it, or visceral fat that you can't see, right in that area where she's touching. That's where you feel lots of visceral fat, because that's where your pancreas is. And so and not only is that visceral fat over the pancreas, but it goes, visceral fat can be around your heart. It can be around your liver. It could be around, it's like there's inside of the body. And I know this very well from my anatomy courses. My master's is also in anatomy. So I used to teach anatomy class, right? And so you are actually inside the body. You can actually see that each one of the organs is cradled in some fat. But when you're inside of a body where they had diabetes, or they were overweight, there was actually so much more fat that we had to get through to actually see what the organs looked like. And so this stuff can hide down in there, and you don't even see it on the outside, but it's going on the inside, so that we have that poor control, and we get these problems with an increase in subcutaneous fat or in visceral fat, which is the dangerous fat. So let me tell you what those two masters are. I'm going to let you meet them right now. The ghrelin is your go hormone. Let me eat, let me eat, let me eat. And the leptin is your stop hormone. Okay. So the ghrelin is in your stomach. And so these little cells in this system in your stomach will say, hey, turn on this signal because I need to eat. Now that's good in the short term, right? Because everybody needs to eat. You eat your meals a day. But when the signal gets broken, it really gets out of balance. The other hormone that says to stop is called leptin. And it tells your brain, hey, I'm full now, you can stop. But when these hormones are out of balance, remember the adult on one side and the child on the other side, the ghrelin is in the go area. So you're going to continue to eat and continue to eat and continue to eat. But when those hormones are out of balance, the signals just go all kind of haywire. Then you get cravings, you get overeating, you get like the stubborn weight gain, and you also kind of lead to something called insulin resistance. And so that causes a link. So you not only get insulin resistance, you get the leptin resistance as well. And both of them can kind of lead to the horrible truth that sometimes it makes it just a little bit more difficult to button those pants up the way you used to be able to. Right? So you can't I can't quite zip this. I can't zip this up because the shocking truth is that when leptin and ghrelin are out of balance, they make insulin resistance even worse. And this high ghrelin increases your cravings for sugar. And then it works with some other things inside of your body that is a topic for another subject that will also increase the sugar cravings. Like when I'm doing my assessment, when I'm asking my clients questions, my patients questions about what's going on, and they tell me about certain cravings that they're having, I know they got some problems with some hormones, and I know they got that there's some things in there that are triggering those hormones to go haywire too. So those are the things that we go after and we address those things. So this thing ends up leading to leptin resistance, and it just makes it harder for your body to recognize when you're full. Over time, this cycle leads to weight gain. It can lead to what's called metabolic dysfunction, which really means that you're not able to metabolize the fat that you're consuming. You're not able to metabolize the sugar that you're consuming. Those things just go haywire. And eventually, it can lead to what we know of as type 2 diabetes. I always talk about diabetes, type 2 diabetes, being a diet exacerbated illness. So, what we're going to do is we're going to give you three things that you can do to go through these steps to help you get over and to rewire this thing. So, here we go. First, I want you to sleep, right? Get your sleep. You are going to sleep 7 to 9 hours every night. This is number one. When you don't sleep well, it increases your go hormone, your hunger hormone, your ghrelin. It increases that. So we want to counteract that, and we're going to give you some tools to kind of counteract those things. Is you want to go to sleep. And we've given you a whole plan on how to slow it down your day, how to get prepared, how to start your sleep hygiene so that you can get in bed by 9 o'clock. We said your best time to sleep was between 10 and midnight because you get the best rest for the adrenal glands. Like all of these things are interacting like spaghetti highway in Atlanta. Number two, nutrition is important. Eat whole, high fiber, protein rich food because you know what this does is it stabilizes the leptin. The leptin is responsible for inhibiting the ghrelin from continuing. It'll go to the ghrelin where it's secreted in the stomach and like stops that. It stops that interaction, stops that production of that hormone. And it will help you to reduce the amount of food that you take in when your body would normally have been satisfied with it. And did you know also that the more you eat, the stomach lining has these elastic fibers. It's like a rubber band. And you can actually make your rubber band, you can stretch your rubber band a lot more, right? You can really stretch your rubber band so that it can go further. Well, you can do that same thing with your stomach. The more food you put in it, the stretchier your stomach gets. So the capacity gets wider and wider and wider. So you can put more and more food in it. That's not really a good thing all the time. It's not a good thing. And so you want to reprogram it so that the elasticity goes with its normal elastic portion of it. And you can actually fill that chamber up with more plant foods. Is very interesting. You can actually put more plant foods in your body and it doesn't increase the stretch of your stomach the way junk food does. When you do junk food, it just stretches and stretches and stretches. You can actually put in more of the weight and get less of a stretch with plant foods than you can with the junk food. So that fiber, those fiber rich foods are really important. Number 3 is reduce stress. Y'all, stress, I was stressed yesterday. Stress is like every single day there is stress. So every day I have to figure out, how do I reduce this stress today? Because yesterday my internet went out. Yesterday my computer went to capacity. I could not feel anything else. So I'm stressed because now I can't get a link out to my audience to show them to link on how to get to this live session. Then I can't send a thank you email to say, hey y'all, thank you for watching. Here's the link to the replay. I was like, why am I stressed? Like, this is like stressful. So the internet that we have, I'm not going to say what it is. I always wondered that the reason that they named it what they named it is because they're like, you're like in awe. Wow, this doesn't even work, right? So it just, the internet, and not to mention all of the other issues that come along in the daytime. So stress, you're talking about full of it, okay? So I'm like, okay, let me practice. Let me take a deep breath. Let me step back. Let me do what I can do and not worry about stressing, because I could feel like the stress going higher and higher and higher in me. So I had to step back and relax. Let me do something that's fun. Let me just step back and do something that's fun, because I can't do anything about the internet. Then, my phone and my internet, my phone and my computer are like at capacity, right? So then my husband, praise God for my husband, he has to go in, wipe off everything off of my computer, put it on a backup drive, but he can't reload my computer from the backup drive because it's going to put the same stuff that was causing it to go slow in the first place. So I was like, okay, while you doing all that, I'm going to just lie down here on the sofa and just take some deep breaths, turn on Downton Abbey, because I used to like that show. I'm like, let me just watch a little Downton Abbey and let me just relax. Let me take a deep breath, let me drink some water. Let me just decompress on the sofa. Every single day, we're working on how to eliminate stress, because we are trying to know the secrets that are causing all of these different things. So we gave you 3 secrets. These are the 3, these are really secret weapons that you can use to try to reset that leptin and ghrelin. And it was very interesting that when I did those things, I didn't go to the refrigerator to get more food. I had already eaten dinner. I didn't go to the refrigerator to get more food. I decided to practice my techniques. I had already eaten a really fiber rich dinner. Like I made like really delicious pintos, right? And we had this really delicious salad. Like I had a lot of salad and I had this pinto soup that I'm going to share a recipe. I try to go ahead of you guys and try to get some recipes together for you. So I'm going to share that recipe, this really delicious pinto soup that my sister gave me the idea for, because because her soup is so delicious. I was like, okay, I got to make it for my people. So I'm going to share that with you. But I was just going through the secrets that I've shared with you right now to try to decrease my stress and to decrease like I can only do what I can do. You can only do that. So I was like, I'm going to have a good night's rest, because I know that when I go to sleep, I'm going to lower my ghrelin, and you can see how the ghrelin will just continue to just lower itself down so that you can actually not be worried about hunger. If I were awake, then that would have gone in the opposite direction and gone up. So I started eating foods like this, these nice, rich fiber ones, because what I'm trying to do is to give you some healing things that'll kind of help to heal the hunger hormones and allow you to be able to do what needs to keep your body in good stead so that your hunger hormones don't go out of control. So you want to eat this, not this, or should I say, not that. All of those processed foods would actually cause you to have a higher ghrelin hormone, all right? Processed foods are really just not our friend. So when we solve the mystery, as we get into the mystery to solve it together, we know that we have to eat more high fiber vegetables and really good protein sources and healthy fat sources. We have to kind of eliminate these processed carbs and sugars and these artificial sweeteners. And it's very interesting when we talk about these things that it can actually increase pain, right? Because we've always talked about the circulation. We talked about how the circulation has to remain open for even the little parts of your body. And when you've had multiple surgeries, I know that you can have pain. So we have to do every single thing that we can. And maybe there you're retiming, like when you take your pain medication so that you can get a better night's sleep. There's so many different things, but we're going to do what we can do to make sure that we can do our best. So we're knowing that we're going to increase our fiber rich foods. We know we're going to eliminate junk food and the stressors, that the sugar foods that actually cause more stress. And we're going to try to decrease the stress that we're experiencing, and try to use the techniques, all the sleep hygiene and all those different techniques that we've been teaching to decrease the cortisol, because the cortisol will disrupt the way leptin works and the way leptin can inhibit the ghrelin, and it makes it harder to feel full, so you just want to continue to eat, and we tend to eat the wrong things. And so we talked about these different techniques about deep breathing yesterday to try to decrease the cortisol level. We talked about walking and taking deep breaths out in the sun to try to decrease the amount that you have to deal with, the amount of cortisol that you have to deal with to decrease those stressors. We talked about how nature really has this incredible ability to decrease the stress hormones. My friend that we talked about in Utah the other day sent me some incredible pictures that I had planned to put into this presentation, but praise God, I had already finished this presentation and already dumped it to my partner, so she already had it, so I couldn't replace the pictures, but her pictures were breathtaking in the mountains where she's like hiking all the time. The mountains are snow covered, and just, I mean, it just this beautiful pristine picture, and just looking at it helped me to drop my shoulders and to take a deep breath. I mean, it was absolutely breathtaking. So that nature is getting out in nature and exposing yourself to the foliage that's around you to release some of the stress that we are just dealing with on a regular basis. Sometimes you just got to go to a different place that you weren't at before. Like my husband and I just went to a different place, and he works from home and I work from home, and we just wanted a change of environment to kind of help to relieve some of the stress. So here are the key takeaways that I want to share with you today. I want to make sure, number one, that you're sleeping, and every every night is not going to be a slam dunk, but we're working towards it. We are discovering if it's our difficulty getting asleep or staying asleep. If it's getting asleep, we know that melatonin is a problem. If it's staying asleep, we know that cortisol is a problem. There are things on the market that can help you with melatonin. There are foods that we talked about that will help you with melatonin, and I do them all. And the tryptophan that we know actually helps to stimulate melatonin. Excuse me. So we're doing those things. Again, every night is not going to be a slam dunk, but we're working in that direction. We also know that we have to eat high fiber foods and protein rich foods, and the right sources of these proteins and the right sources of this fiber. Manage your stress daily. Manage the stress. Sorry, I meant to mute that so I wouldn't be doing that in your ear, and I kind of missed it. But here we go. Move. Get movement. Move your body every single day. Exercise improves leptin sensitivity. Doesn't that sound familiar? We know that exercise also improves insulin sensitivity. It improves leptin sensitivity as well. So these next steps, like the next steps that we take, is we have to make some different choices because the road is diverse. You can go on the road that's going to feed your hunger hormones in the long run, or you can take the road that's going to feed your leptin hormone so that it puts everything in perspective and you get to eat eat until you're full and your body knows that you're full. So now that you know how hunger hormones work, it's time to take action. So if you're ready to reverse insulin resistance and take control of your health, then now's the time. Join our program so we can teach you exactly how to reset your metabolism and heal type 2 diabetes naturally. That's what we do here. We're teaching you the rules to carefully read the labels to all of these things that are really kind of hacking your hormones. Because our question is, are you really hungry or are you hacked? And so we want you to actually be able to know what's going on so that you know that you are the hacker, you're not the hacked. So it's all your choice. Your hormones don't have to control you, you control them. By balancing ghrelin and leptin, you're not just fighting cravings, you're actually reversing disease. So let's take back control. And we're going to do it one step at a time because our goal is to stop diabetes. So today, what you have learned, and you tell me, did we accomplish our goals today? I want you to put it in the chat. If you understand more about hunger hormones and how they work and how they may be sabotaging your efforts to reverse inflammation and decrease diabetes and decrease inflammation that causes other diseases. If you feel like we have met these goals today, then put in the chat yes, or put in the chat helpful. I like that word helpful. Has it done it? Have we shared with you the surprising link between these hormones and insulin resistance? Did we do our job today? Did we teach you how to reset them using very simple lifestyle changes? Have we met those goals? Yes, I see helpful. These are the things that we set out to do when we started this morning, and we have accomplished those goals. Thank you for that. We have accomplished those goals. So what is that thing that you're going to do today to help to hack your hormones so that you are not hacked? What's one thing? Put it in the chat. What's one thing that you are going to take away today and you are going to start doing to hack your hormones so that your hormones don't hack you? Put one thing in the chat. I want to see what you've come up with. We are stepping towards optimal health. I got that it's helpful. Well, one thing that I did, because I'm living by the advice that I give you. This is how I live every day. I'm not making things up, right? This is how I live. I took a moment to just step back and relax under my stressful day. I had to step back and relax. Let me see what you've decided to do. All right, let's see. One person, Anita says she's going to get more, she's going to get her rest. All right, good. I love that. Let's see, anything else? Go to bed earlier and get a good night's sleep. Yes. Because that's really a huge one. Get more sleep. Yes, everybody's and I think this is a problem that we all have is sleep. Getting sleep, not getting enough sleep is big. Get adequate sleep and walking 5 days a week. Excellent. I love that. This week is a great day to walk to walk, right? It's not cold. You've probably seen me on social media walking in the wintertime and all that kind of stuff, and it's freezing. My sister and I were walking one day, our ears were all frozen and eyes watering and all kinds of stuff, but the walk felt so good because the air was cold and crisp. It just felt amazing. Another thing you're going to do is exercise more often. Yeah, I had to put on my gloves and my hat, and I had on my big Parker coat, and I had on my thick boot walking shoes, actually boots. I was walking in boots that day, but but they were nice and thick. So those are wonderful things. Exercising more often, getting more sleep, walking every day, getting rest, de-stressing. A- a- and you say you don't know, you tried everything. No, you keep trying. Like, you don't try it for a day, right? You just keep doing it. You keep doing it. It didn't, a lot of times it didn't it we don't get sick overnight, so we don't change everything overnight. So it's a consistency that you want to keep, and you have been doing really well. So keep up the good work. You are consistent, and I just want to encourage you to keep going, keep walking, keep getting your rest, keep changing your diet, keep putting all those things in. You've seen changes in your blood pressure, you've seen changes in your blood sugar, and you've certainly seen changes in the amount of insulin that you've been using. Keep up the good work. I encourage you. Remember that our book is available in at Amazon, How to Reverse Type 2 Diabetes. This is the exact blueprint that we use to reverse type 2 diabetes and the inflammation that causes other illnesses, and our success journal. We can actually track, and we get lots of hacks and lots of tools, lots of motivation and inspiration in our Reverse It Success Journal. So those are available on Amazon. We also have our courses, Becoming Undiabetic and Staying Undiabetic. So those are available, along with our health optimization program that really is our membership program that kind of stays with you to give you the support that you need, so that every day you are encouraged and you know how to do what needs to be done. I keep an eye on what's happening in the food industry, because the food industry is changing so rapidly that I want you to know ahead of time, hey, y'all, stay away from this because this is happening. Stay away from that. This is happening. Here, do this instead of that. Like, we're there with you. We also have our cookbook that is there to kind of help you along the way, teaching you some of the techniques that are necessary to stay undiabetic, become and stay undiabetic, so that you could actually watch the video and have the recipes right in front of you. And so our health optimization program, our program that we offer to be able to do just that, is actually an amazing way to stay ahead of the game, to stay undiabetic. Somebody else said that they're going to be breathing more purposefully. Absolutely. That's a really good one too. So deep breathing is an absolutely wonderful one to use. If you have any questions, I didn't see any questions as I was doing the close. There were no questions, but I love that we have found some things that we are going to do, things that we can do today to make the changes that are necessary to get our hormones back into balance. Eating around 12 to 1, hungry again by 6. Oh, okay. Do I do the smoothies or fruit by 3 a.m.? I'm hungry again, and breakfast maybe. I've gotten off kilter. Well, you know what? At 3 a.m., as we work on things to go to sleep, like, don't eat at 3 a.m., right? Don't eat at 3 a.m. Maybe your smoothie, you eat at 6, that's great. 12 or 1, that's perfect timing. Like, and you can eat 5 hours later, 6 hours later. That's awesome. At nighttime, you can eat your dinner, but you could do one of those nighttime smoothies before you go to sleep, right? Go into interval 2, where we introduce nighttime smoothies, and you can use one of those to kind of help you get there. You can eat a handful of nuts, or eat a banana, but not at 3 a.m., right? You're going to do these things at nighttime, so that your body, you want to reset your hormones. If you continue eating at 3 a.m., you're just encouraging the Ghrelin hormones. And so we want to reset that. So it may require you hacking your hormone and say, I know you want me to eat, but I'm not going to do it. Because part of it is having the awareness raised to know what's going on. So now you know. So when it does that, you say, I'm not going to fall into that because I'm resetting my hormones. Yeah, I understand you're not eating, but I just want to give you that encouragement. You're hungry, so maybe try those tools and see if those hacks will help you. I think that over time they will help you. So that makes sense, especially as you'll notice that your stomach will start shrinking. And as your stomach shrinks, I always look at things, and this is just in my own mind, but I look at these things as, ghrelin inside of your stomach, all these different places where ghrelin is secreted inside of your stomach. And if your stomach is very, very, very stretched, then I can just imagine there's more um, uh, ghrelin being secreted inside of there, because it's like you're almost doubling or tripling the size of the cells that are inside of your stomach. And as they start to shrink, they start to go like, yeah, okay, I have less ghrelin cells, so I don't need to, I'm not going to be quite as hungry. That's just how I think about things in my head. It helps me to understand what's going on better. So as your stomach starts to shrink, I think you'll see some changes in your hunger hormone at 3 a.m. even. Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I had an absolute blast being able to share this information with you, and I sure hope that you had a good time today too. I saw that it was helpful for you. I saw that you are interested in making some significant changes, things that you can do right now, that you can do today to start to balance your hormones, so that you're not on a seesaw anymore. You're just kind of right at that balance, right? You're feeling good. So if this content has been helpful for you, which you have said, because I've trapped you into telling me already that it's helpful, I want you to give it a thumbs up. I want you to share it with some friends and some family. Share the health for other people. Our videos are up for 48 hours, so make sure they get in there, watch it. Sometimes I leave them up, for another day, maybe even 4 days, but unintentional. Yesterday we didn't get a chance to take them down. So if you have some friends that might need to get in there, let them go in there and check out those videos today. And make sure that your notification bell is on and that you have subscribed. So go there and subscribe. Remember, our books are available on Amazon. Our Power Pack is also available at powermypack.com for a very strong immune boost. Keep walking, Janice. I love that. Now she will get her steps in, and she is doing extremely well with getting that walking together. And that one right there too, Anita. She is if she was the one that we were out there freezing, walking together. She will get her steps in when nobody else does. She will do it. So thank you guys for your encouragement in your walking, because you are encouraging other people as well. So thank you for that. We appreciate you. We will see you again tomorrow at the same time, same station, but we're going to have a different link. You can still get there like you did today. Go to the YouTube channel. I want to also make you aware that Friday and Saturday's sessions are going to be recorded. So you'll have a separate link for those, because we have some things that are coming up. So those will be pre-recorded, just like the ones that recorded last weekend before last. They're going to be recorded like that. So we will not be able to take questions live, obviously, but if you put them in the Facebook group, then I will go. If you put them in the comments on YouTube, then I will go. When I go through and answer questions, I will answer the questions if you want to put them in there at that time. So health is the new currency. I'm so glad that you're spending it wisely here with us today. We're doing it together. So I'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same station, different session. Take care. Bye.